Hello and welcome to a little guide on laning and trading as Nautilus top. In this example here, we are playing against a Gangplank, and I'll be teaching you some good things and bad things to do. Just for reference, I currently am playing in Plat. I'm currently in low Plat Elo, high Gold Elo, and I have had a lot of experience playing Nautilus top. So let's just get started. So obviously, I'm just going to be narrating over what I have played and what I have done. So what I like to do specifically against GP as well is to show him that he cannot bully me with his Qs and his barrels. Most GPs will actually start with barrels. This one kind of surprised me by starting with Q. So it was actually kind of a good thing for me. But another thing you got to be careful of is whenever he starts using his barrels, you want to try your best to actually destroy them. Sometimes, obviously, like that time, just then, I failed at it, but I attempted. You definitely want to try your best to stop his barrels, because they do a lot of damage, and he gets more Silver Serpents for his passive whenever he kills minions with his Q, or his barrel Q. So here, we want our, we want to try and push him against turret early game, because brother gets a little upset and a little cranky when we do. However, the biggest thing is you want to mitigate or lower the total amount of minions that he's getting while also punishing him for trying to farm. Because our engage on him is much stronger than it is on us. So you just make sure that you're still, paying attention. You may miss a couple of minions, and that's okay, but preventing him from farming is one of the best things. And you might be thinking to yourself, why don't I just freeze the wave and keep it back? Well, if you start doing that, then GP can start blowing you up with barrels, right? He can just start chaining barrels, and barrels literally don't cost any mana for him. So you definitely don't want to deal with that. So obviously you see we have him currently pushed back to his turret, and he's going to try his best to kind of farm with his barrels and do some setups with his barrels for whenever you start walking up, so that he can obviously push you away, do some damage to you. But that, forcing him to blow up those barrels early, brings the wave back like this, and opens him up to having to back and stuff, and then you just shove it right back under. Unfortunately, I missed that hook a second ago. You like to try and force him to stay in lane as long as possible. Now, here's the thing that he did. He teleported in, and you can totally punish him for it. You have a significantly better all-in than he does. Look at this. Look at this mess right here. He's trying his best to use barrels, but he's also placing them in the wrong places because I'm giving him the runaround. And he had no idea that we were going to completely beat him there. So that was funny. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. He just kind of, Anyway, Gangplanks like to be very aggressive. So using their aggressiveness against them is key. Now that can also work for like Volibear as well. That can work for Jax as well. Baiting an engage from them is a big thing. But definitely against GP, you want to mitigate the amount of farming that he does so that he gets significantly less Silver Serpents. So as we go on though, you'll see I actually make a pretty solid mistake. But for the most part, everything here is pretty solid stuff. So always want to get back and get a blasting wand, and if you can get the ruby crystal, good. That's the best way to kind of go about it with your items, your first back, if you've got a lot of gold. So I'm going to punish him for keeping himself open like that. You can always fight in the minions too, because in the beginning, the minions really don't do too much damage, especially whenever you get to shield. We're just going to punish him super hard here. And then we're going to hit him with the hoo-ha. And unfortunately, he had his orange, and we didn't get enough damage. Just barely not enough damage. And as exciting and as greedy as you might want to be, you have to notice he also has Sheen. And trying to hook him and, well, just walk up to him, especially whenever he's got his Q, and he's got Sheen as well, is his Q does all of a sudden double damage. So we're low health right now. We're trying to keep back. He's very low on mana himself. I'm going to whiff a hook here because I'm thinking he might walk back, but he didn't. But bully him. If you can be a lane bully as Nautilus top, do it. Now, against someone like Teemo, you can try to be a bully for him, but most Teemos will either go press the attack or grasp, and they will totally beat you out. So another big thing to remember while you're laning is that Robert Plant will spawn around 6 minutes. And most other players that you might play against will forget or just not even realize that they can get that. Whiffing another hook there. Just keeping him on his toes, you know. I don't know why Vi came up here. But she did. We got the plating at least. But she came up just to be a body, I guess. Which is okay. That's alright. But I keep flashing the scoreboard here. Here in a second I'll actually show you what the difference in CS is. But you gotta just try and last hit sometimes. Whenever you and him are kind of equal on the low health, low mana thing. You just gotta gauge your interest here. Like I said, you gotta keep going for hooks. Unfortunately here, I made the mistake of taking another step in and getting killed by 2 turret shots, and I walked directly into his barrel. I thought I was gonna be right outside of it, so he's still not super far ahead. And look at him go. See that? Look at this man go. He's gonna stay up here for a second. I think he gets a plating here. What does he do? No, he walks into the tri-bush and just disappears. This Gangplank really confused me at this part of the game, because like for whatever reason he just he did some really weird things that I'm sure he's not proud of. But another big thing while you're laning as well is you want to be able to look at the map. And I'm guilty of it. I'm totally guilty of it. I sometimes don't look at the map because I'm too hard focused on what's right in front of me on my screen. And some people have said make your map bigger. You know, if I make my map bigger, I feel like I'm losing vision of my direct screen if I do that. And I've tried it, and it didn't work. But remember to get your cannons. Remember to get your cannons as much as you can. If you miss a caster minion over a cannon, that's okay. Now watch this guy. Watch this guy. Gotta punish him. Gotta punish him for walking up. Watch this. Come here, you. Stay out of his barrel as much as you can. Unfortunately, my Q hit that minion, even though I was really hoping it would hit Gangplank. It did not. It very unfortunately did not hit him. So now here, he doesn't know we're actually in this bush. So we're hooking the wall. That's another big thing as well, is if you aren't certain that you're going to hit somebody with your hook, aim for the wall behind them. Because that's definitely a good way. And we beat the absolute crap out of GP there. He has no idea what's going on. Look at chat. Everyone's so angry. I don't know why everyone was so angry this game. But let's see. So yeah, so because he's dead, I think he's got TP again at this point, right? Yes, he does. So again, whenever he TPs in on minions, you just punish him for it. Just totally punish him. You can do that with a lot of other people. Always take a step back whenever you're going to hook, because then it creates a larger gap for him and you. It brings you both right back into the center there. Instead of him taking a few steps forward, it pulls you to him as well. So you want to create that. You want to create an additional little gap there. Just make sure that your your hook is not not too far away. So flashed under here. A little risky of a play, but we made it happen with the damage. You don't want to stick around here, even though we know that we've got Vi getting the other set of Void Grubs. we don't want to risk Kha'Zix coming up, so we back. Start building some Fimbulwinter here, get some boots, and then teleport back in on top of minions because his TP is down, and that means that you get to push this under his turret and potentially get another plating. And we love platings. You definitely want to try and get as many platings as you can. And another thing, even though I didn't go down and do it this game, try and pay attention to your jungler and help them out as much as you can with getting grubs. Sometimes if your jungler is going down and getting dragon and their jungler's there and your top laner that you're playing against is just out of commission for a moment, you could potentially get grubs all on your own. The first set of grubs usually, not the second set. It's a little bit more difficult getting the second set of grubs by yourself. Look at this man. Look at the difference. See that? 62 versus 92. We have a whole 30 CS lead, and we've got 2 kills on top of him because we've been a bully. And he doesn't really know how to play against it other than, I try my barrels. We just punish him for being open constantly. Unfortunately, he was doing very well. Well, unfortunately for us, he was doing pretty well with his barrels. But sometimes you just want to, like I said, just absolutely punish him for being open. Man, had he not flashed there, we would have actually totally had the kill. And he's also been using his citrus or his W orange, whatever you want to call it, his Mandarin, just at the perfect time. And instead of just going fully for the turret here like I should have, I started kind of greeting for him because I knew he was gonna have his orange again, but. Unfortunately, it was kind of a stalemate under turret there. Hoping I'll walk into here and realize, oh, well, he's got a ward, unfortunately. But one of the key points of laning as Nautilus is realize you are strong. You are strong. Realize you should have missed that minion, but realize you are strong. And sometimes your enemies just completely don't expect it. They literally don't expect your damage sometimes. So, and then the other point is, even though I'm going with like a shield bash build, you're still tanky. So, thank you for hanging out, watching this video. Hopefully you found it a little helpful. So, have a good day.